Let me go across to B. Raman. In this whole business of trying to play vote bank politics, do you believe, Mr. Raman, a will to take on terror in the language and in the format that terrorists understand is being crippled because the Congress is so worried about trying to protect its vote banks that they're just not garnering the will to take resolute action?
You see, effective counter-terrorist action, it depends on the professionals. By professionals, I mean the police officers, the intelligence agencies, etc. And also the kind of political leadership which they get. If you go back to terrorism in Punjab, the Khalistani terrorism which we faced in Punjab, Mr. KPS Gill, of course, he played a very important role. And if you talk to Mr. KPS Gill, he himself conceded that he was able to be very effective because he got a free hand from the then Prime Minister Narasimha Rao and from the then Chief Minister of Punjab, Bayan Singh. That kind of free hand the police do not have today, whether it's in Delhi or some other state, etc. Unless and until the political leaders, the politicians, the political leadership tell the police officers whatever request to be done not to put an end to the terrorism in accordance with the law, you take that action. There will be no interference from the government, there will be no interference from my party, there will be no interference from any political leadership, etc. And that kind of free hand must be given to the police, and they should be told, you do whatever is required.
Mr. Khan, is that the problem, as Mr. Raman says, the fact that the cops are not given a free hand, that they're forever looking behind their backs, worried about what the netas will think of action, and therefore no hard action ever gets taken, Mr. Khan?
No, you know, the lady made a relevant point, and a couple of people said that KPS Gill managed to curb terrorism.
This is the Prime Minister's
It was not Gill alone. I have a couple of my batchmates who are also IGs and Director General later. They all curbed terrorism for the simple fact that the people cooperated with them. They built up their confidence in the people so much that the people, you see, when there's an upsurge of the people who say that we will not allow terrorism to be there, the terrorist has no base. He doesn't have a place to hide. And that was what was happening. Unfortunately, instead of trying to work up that kind of motive among the people, we are so busy digressing. The Congress will blame the BJP. The BJP is making political capital of all this. We are digressing. We are just wasting our time and the time of the people. You could understand the terrorist requires public support. He requires the support of a few people from his community, from his locality, and from his area. Now, if this was not forthcoming, the terrorists would be isolated, and we'd be able to find the terrorists. But as far as the police is concerned, the police does not have a free hand, because you yourself have seen just now the scenes that the moment the police, instead of following leads and trying to find more evidence, they are more busy saluting VVIPs who are...
Oh, and it's happening again. We're getting these live pictures from the Ram Manohar Lohia hospital. The Prime Minister on his way back from Dhaka has landed at the hospital. There was a heavy deployment of police personnel, and once again, and I saw this several times this afternoon, once again all work comes to a halt. Relatives can't go inside to meet those people who are suffering, who are critical, because a Netaji has turned up and he then takes priority. I want to go across to Justice Sodhi. Justice Sodhi, do you not think that in a time like this, professionals should be allowed to do their work? And, you know, we've seen just so many politicians go. Maybe, yes, there is a need for the Prime Minister to come. Maybe there's also a need for some leader from the opposition to come. But they should depute one or two people. They should go as a mark of solidarity. And this whole business of entire jamborees coming, all work coming to a stop, this nonsense must end, sir.